Seema, how are you?
I'm good, Priyanka. How are you?
Great, great. So Seema, today I'm here to ask you some questions. So
Yes,
be ready
sure.
with those answers.
Yes, I'm ready.
So Seema, you have been in the system for quite a long time now.
Yes,
So
yes.
please tell me something about how your journey has been so far.
Priyanka, my journey with Aptech has been very enriching. I joined 5.5 years back, and I joined for a very limited role. But the regular enhancement of my role and the kind of exposure I got, I think I developed as a person and I grew as a professional also. So the one word is very enriching.
Great to know that. And I have seen you, Seema, you have been involved into all key assignments what Aptech has done. So tell us about your experience there and what is that you have learned.
Okay. So some of the key programs that I was involved in was one, the CMMI certification for EVG, and the other PCMM certification for Aptech. And I think both these experiences were such enriching, and actually I think they transformed me as a person and as a leader. So before this, before I joined Aptech, there was a big team which used to report to me in my previous organization. Now hardly anyone reports to me. But I think I'm still a leader. So, that's the transformation that's happened. And I think what we learned from PCMM, what I learned from PCMM was how to take people along and how the spirit of PCMM was still there, being practiced in Aptech, but how we give it words or how we put it in processes. That's all.
So when you say PCMM, Seema, I remember the concept of SCUA Mentor.
That's
So
right.
you tell me, what has SCUA Mentor done to you, or have you seen SCUA Mentor happening in the organization?
Yes, it is happening. As I said, it is happening in the spirit all the time. Because as soon as someone joins the organization, there is someone, mentoring, someone guiding that person how to go about the organization, who's who, and then the important points key to their roles, and then also helping them grow, in the organization. So if I talk personally, I just joined for training, but through the mentoring that I received, I gradually moved into compliance, I gradually moved into certifications, and then gradually I moved into finance and the MIS for EBT and all that. So, and if you look around, everyone who's joining, you can survive in an organization only if you're mentored by people who are there already, by your seniors.
Yes.
Otherwise, the organization gradually collapses.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, that mentoring in Aptech is something we all look forward for, and it is practiced in Aptech. So what do you do in your free time, Seema? What are your hobbies? So let me understand Seema now.
Okay, I'm glad you asked me that. Priyanka, I practice Nichiren Daishin's Buddhism. I've been practicing it for now 19 years.
Okay.
And in my free time, I like to study the Buddhist philosophy, the books around it.
Interesting.
And I also meet the members, I go and meet them. And I love spending time with my friends, catching up with them.
Wonderful. So when you talk about Buddhism and also you read so much,
Yes.
so anything that you apply to your work, what you are, the projects that you are handling day to day,
Yes.
so is there some application of it here?
Yes, the first application, for the work, the attitude that you carry towards your work. Whether the task is to take a printout, whether the task is given to you is to take a photocopy, or whether the task is to go and make a sales presentation. Equally important is every task, and your attitude decides what will be the outcome. So give your 300% at your work. This is what I've learned from Buddhism. This is what I try to practice. Of course, there are days when you're feeling great. Of course, there are days when you're not feeling so great. You're feeling grumpy, complaining. But ultimately, you know that I have to do my best, and beyond, what's my role? How am I adding value to the organization? And if I add value to the organization, then only value gets added to me.
Absolutely. And so rightly said, attitude is something that is very important, and one should have the right attitude. Now talking about SCUA, so
Yes.
you are aware about ethos SCUA.
Yes.
So which aspect of SCUA you think you are aligned to, or which you think that is what happens in Aptech?
One, I think scuba or the ethos are the way of life. It is something that we practice in our day-to-day life. I cannot practice something professionally if I'm not applying it in my daily life. So one of the scuba, ethos that I regularly apply or I relate to is the scalability in the sense of evolving. If I'm not evolving as a person, I can't evolve as a leader also. I can't evolve as a professional also. So each day, the focus is on self-improvement. When I improve, my vision for future improves. The same vision I carry at my workplace.
Absolutely.
So I think that's one way, one ethos that I definitely am trying to practice in my life.
Great. Now, one last question, Seema.
Yes.
Aptech as an organization, people stay here. So,
Yes.
what is that one thing which made you stick with the organization for so long?
I have said it many times. The people of this organization, the HR of this organization, I think it is great. The culture that we have, and there is a hierarchy in the organization, but the limitations of a hierarchy are not there. The leadership is approachable, and we learn from them. So, and their commitment is visible. So, the opportunity to learn from people all around is great, and I think that's what made me stick here.
Superb, Seema. It was nice time talking to you, and thank you so much for giving us this time.
Same
Thanks
here,
again.
same
Bye.
here, Priyanka. Thank you.